days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. Super Bowl's over now. Now we're fully into the offseason. The San Francisco 49ers have some important dates that are going to be coming along the way. Wanted to go over those dates, exact implications those will have, on players, on the front office, decisions they're going to have to make. But really, it's just to get everyone kick-started on what this offseason is going to look like and what dates are coming our way that are important. I just thought it would be a fun conversation to have. And let's get it started. And it starts with the franchise tag designations. Will the 49ers franchise anyone? That hasn't been the norm for them. But February 21st is the first time that, that players can be franchise tagged. I expect there to be some around the league. Will the 49ers do it? I doubt it. They don't normally like paying these players top premium dollars if they're not signing them to an extension. But I did put Robbie Gould as the picture here because you never know. They might franchise Robbie Gould and make sure that he doesn't leave. I don't think that's going to be the case, but that's the first date along the way, the franchise tag. Second, February 22nd is going to be a significant day for the San Francisco 49ers, especially their offense and the quarterback position, because Brock Purdy is going to have surgery. Brock Purdy is up in the air. They're hoping it's going to be a 6-month recovery time. They're going to put a brace along his UCL. And as long as it goes good, he's going to be ready to go in 6 months, which is pretty close to when training camp is going to start. But if not, and they have to pivot and do a hybrid type surgery, it could be up to 9 months. So it's a very pivotal time and a very pivotal day in the 49ers offseason to see exactly what's going to happen with Brock Purdy, and if we're going to get a full competition at training camp between Purdy and Trey Lance, or if Purdy's not going to be available till potentially November, and then Trey Lance will be the guy moving forward. That could also affect the way the 49ers approach free agency as far as picking up another quarterback too. So February 22nd, very significant in the 49ers offseason. And I think it kind of gets everything jump-started one way or the other, whether they have to do something at the quarterback position or whether they think they're going to have a quarterback competition between Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. February 22nd, going to be here before you know it. The NFL Scouting Combine. The NFL Scouting Combine is going to be February 28th to March 6th. Of course, they go through interviews. They do some of the things on the field from 40 times to drills. It'll be the first time that these players are out there in front of the front office staff, and they're going to get to see them and what they do. And this really kicks off the draft time of the year. From the time the combine starts until the end of April, it's pretty much draft season. There's going to be lots of stuff out there going on. The 49ers have a plethora of picks, but they don't start till pick. Looks like they're going to be number 99 with a complimentary pick there. It's going to be 99. They could have 3 right there in comp picks at the end of the 3rd round. So it'll be a quiet, first day, most of the second day for the 49ers in the draft, unless they make some sort of a move. But it is draft season. The 49ers are definitely going to use their draft picks to try to bolster the depth in their roster. And we've seen them have success with those picks. Last year, Spencer Burford, a 4th-round pick, made an impact. And just the year before, they ended up netting starters, including Taunu Hufanga and Deommodore Lenoir in the 5th round. So the 49ers definitely are going to be very involved in the draft. They have plenty of picks, which means they can move around. And it'll be a fun time for fans. The Scouting Combine starts at the end of the month, February 28th. On March 7th, draft-eligible players can now visit. So you can have 30 visits where you can have players come to your facility. You can interview them. You can talk to them and all of that. So that's when that starts on March 7th. And it goes until the week before the draft, April 19th. So that's when we'll get an idea, who the 49ers are bringing in, what players they are potentially targeting. Of course, they could always bring guys in that they have no business of or that have no real reason to draft. But they could also have guys that they never bring in that they do draft. Mike McGlinchey was never a draft visit for the 49ers, yet they drafted him. So that's something to remember. But it'll start getting everyone's juices flowing, and the draft will officially kick into high gear. March 13th through 15th the free agent frenzy kind of starts. They call this the tampering period or the non-tampering period, where NFL free agents are allowed to start negotiating with teams. Nothing official can be signed, but they can start talking to teams about what exactly they can be offered and start getting the framework for contracts. We all know that once that starts, all the contract information starts coming out there. Thanks to Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and everybody that handles that kind of thing. So March 13th is when the business really picks up. We'll find out how active the 49ers are in free agency. And with a lot of free agents, 25 free agents for the 49ers, they look to be somewhat active, whether it's re-signing their own players or signing other key free agents. And it was just last year that they went out and they signed Charvarius Ward. They went out and they signed Hassan Ridgeway. And they got Ray McLeod. So they did make moves last year. Look for the 49ers to be involved in free agency again. On March 15th, the new league year officially starts, which means those contracts can become official. It also signals that the 49ers' top 51 contracts must be under the salary cap. So any sort of moves that they need to make as far as restructuring or anything to get under that salary cap, they need to do before March 15th. But that's when it all kicks into high gear and free agency hits a different level. So March 15th, everything gets started. April 17th, 49ers can begin their off-season workout programs. Doesn't mean it's going to start on April 17th, but from April 17th on, they can start getting into their OTAs, organize team activities, and start practicing and working out. That is a couple weeks before the draft, so 49ers will get after it. That is when Trey Lance should be running the 49ers offense. You'll probably get some veteran players there, but not all. We all know that Nick Bosa won't be there, but it'll be football practice again, and the 49ers will be back out there for OTAs. On April 21st, it's the deadline for restricted free agents to sign their offer sheets. So that's Colton McKivitz, Kevin Givens, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles. They're all restricted free agents, and the 49ers have different levels at which they can offer them. A first-round tender, a second-round tender, or a right of first refusal. I expect there to be a right of first refusal for most or all of their restricted free agents in this draft or in this off season. Colton McKivitz, I'm sure they want him back. Givens and Flanagan Fowles, but they do have the opportunity if they do sign an offer sheet from another team to be able to match it, and that date is April 26th. So if you put a right of first refusal on your restricted free agent on April 26th, that is your last chance to match it. So for instance, if Flanagan Fowles got an offer sheet from the Texans to go play for, the coach out there and the defensive coordinator, they could do that. And D'Amico Ryans could bring on Flanagan Fowles. He could bring on Azeez Al-Shire. But the 49ers, if they had a right of first refusal, they could match any offer that was given to Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. And that date is on April 26th. On April 27th, the very next day, the NFL draft kicks off. Of course, the 49ers do not have a first-round pick or a second-round pick. But in day two, on the 28th, they will be active with at least 3 comp picks. They could always move on from them, use them to move up in the draft, do whatever they have to do. But the draft will be from April 27th through April 29th. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to the NFL draft. On May 11th, now this is a soft date. It's not official, but just going off of what everything has happened over the last several years, May 11th should be the NFL schedule release. That's when we'll find out exactly what days and how many primetime games the San Francisco 49ers will have. We know who their opponents are at home. We know who their opponents are away. But this is the first time you find out who they're playing on Thursday or on Friday, or on Sunday or on Monday. So it's a lot of fun. Schedule release also start kicking into picking the games, who's going to win. A lot of fun. So NFL schedule release, May 11th. Soft date there. And then in May, rookie mini camps happen. Last year it happened a couple of days after the schedule release. So usually a couple of weeks into May, you get rookie mini camps. We'll get to see a look at the new young guys that the 49ers have picked up. That will happen probably 2 weeks into May. And then in June, you have mandatory minicamp. Last year was June 13th through 15th. This year will be something similar. This is when players are expected to show up. and expected to work out unless they've gotten permission from Kyle Shanahan. And this kind of is the last time they're together. They usually do mandatory minicamp, and then they take time off before they come back for training camp. And training camp, of course, is in July, and that's when all the fireworks happen. Hopefully, it's Trey Lance versus Brock Purdy in a quarterback competition. But you get to see all the pieces that you're going to have, all the weapons that you're going to be using during your season. This year, I was out at training camp every single day, and it was so much fun. I got to see, how these players were developing. I got to see how good this defense was. Got to see Brock Purdy make some cool plays. It was a fun time, and I expect training camp to be electric and exciting this year as well. It's going to be one heck of an offseason. And of course, once we get to July, it'll just be right around the corner. First part of August, we'll be getting into preseason games, and by the second week of September, it'll be NFL kickoff again. So it's an exciting time. The offseason has a lot of cool dates. Hopefully, this video gives you an idea of what those dates are and what to be expected, and how this offseason is going to play out. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to give updates, but also have some talk about some of these free agents as we work closer and closer to free agency. Free agency is the next closest thing coming, and then pretty soon it'll be draft season. Of course, we'll cover the combine, but that's a little bit farther away into the month, almost here. It's going to be a fun time. Hope you guys all enjoy the offseason. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next time, stay safe and remember the right way is always the 49ers.